You ever notice how some kitchens look stunning on Instagram, but the second you cook one real meal in them, they start feeling annoying? After years of watching renovations up close, I've seen the same trendy choices create the same regrets: harder cleaning, awkward layouts, and finishes that age fast. Today, I'm breaking down 8 kitchen trends you need to avoid at all costs if you want a space that stays functional and looks expensive long-term. A few of these are wildly popular right now, and one of them quietly destroys resale value. Stick around to the end so you don't make the costliest mistake. Coming in at number 8, statement pendant overload. People love big statement pendants because they're the fastest designer upgrade you can buy. Swap the lighting, add that island moment, and the whole kitchen suddenly looks curated, even if nothing else changed. But pendant lighting is also one of the fastest ways to make a kitchen feel awkward in real life. Hang them too low and they block sight lines, so you're basically having a conversation through a chandelier. Pick the wrong shape, and you get harsh glare right in your eyes every time you sit down. Go too trendy, and the kitchen starts feeling dated way faster than your cabinets ever will, because lighting trends move like they're on a treadmill. You usually notice it at night. You're trying to prep dinner, and the counter has weird dark pockets because the light is focused in the wrong spots. Or you stand up from the stool and bump your head because the fixture was installed for the photo, not for movement. Even worse, some pendants look bright from a distance but throw uneven light, so you end up cooking in shadows while the room still feels lit. The better move is to treat pendants as the finishing touch, not the main source. Use recessed lighting for overall brightness, add under-cabinet lighting for actual chopping and cooking, then choose pendants that are scaled correctly and give soft, even light. Put them on a dimmer so the kitchen can shift from bright and practical to calm and cozy without changing fixtures. All right, let's keep it moving. Number 7 is one people don't realize is a problem until they've cleaned the kitchen 5 times and it still feels messy. Open shelving everywhere. It got popular because it makes a kitchen feel airy on day one. No heavy uppers, no visual bulk, just look how spacious this is energy. And if you love styling, it's basically free decor. So, would you rather have a kitchen that looks open or a kitchen that hides the chaos? The problem is your kitchen doesn't live like a photo. Heat, steam, oil, and dust don't care about your aesthetic. Those shelves turn into a magnet for grime, and your cute dishes start looking tired unless you're constantly wiping everything down. Then there's the visual clutter issue. Closed cabinets hide real life. Open shelves display it. Here's how it usually plays out. Week 1 is perfect. Week 3, you've got mismatched glasses up there. Week 6, snacks and random items land there temporarily. Now your kitchen looks messy even after you cleaned it. But the fix is surprisingly simple. Keep open shelving small and intentional. One short run for a coffee corner, a few everyday pieces you actually use, and the rest stays closed. If you still want that open feel, glass front cabinets give you the vibe without turning cleaning into a routine. Next up is a trend that looks super modern in the showroom, and then reality starts leaving fingerprints everywhere. Sliding in at number 6, matte black everything. I get why people fall for it. Matte black hardware and faucets look sharp, modern, and instantly high-end. On a white kitchen, it pops. On wood tones, it feels sleek. It's the easiest way to make a basic kitchen look intentional. But matte black can turn into a full-time maintenance relationship. Water spots show up fast, especially if you have hard water. Fingerprints stand out. And on cheaper finishes, the coating can wear unevenly on the spots you touch most, like faucet handles and cabinet pulls. So instead of looking clean and bold, it starts looking tired. The most common moment of regret is when you realize the faucet never looks fresh for more than 10 minutes. You wipe it, it looks good, you turn the water on, and the spots are right back. Or the pulls start showing little shiny areas where the finish is rubbing off, and now the whole set looks inconsistent. So, how to fix this? Use black as an accent, not a takeover. Pick one zone to go black, like the lighting or the hardware, and keep the rest in a finish that forgives daily life, like brushed nickel or stainless. And if you truly love black, spend on quality for the faucet and the most touched pieces, because that's where cheap finishes get exposed the fastest. And if this list is already helping you avoid an expensive mistake, please like and subscribe. These are the kinds of practical tips you'll be glad you heard before you spend a single dollar. All right, the next one is a classic because it looks crisp on install day and slowly betrays you line by line. For number 5, the bright white backsplash with high contrast grout. The appeal is simple. It feels safe. White tile looks clean, works with any cabinet color, and it's been labeled timeless for so long that it feels like you can't lose. And the dark grout version is popular because it looks graphic and designer, like a perfect grid. The catch is grout is the weakest link in the whole look. It absorbs life. Cooking residue, steam, splashes, and time all end up living in those lines. White grout yellows or stains. Dark grout can look patchy if it wasn't installed perfectly, and it makes every uneven line more obvious. So the tile still looks fine, but the overall backsplash starts looking worn before the rest of the kitchen does. You'll see it when you clean and everything sparkles, except the grout lines. Or when the area behind the stove starts looking slightly dingy no matter how much you scrub, because it's not surface dirt anymore. It's the grout aging. A better move is fewer lines to begin with. Larger tiles, full-height slabs, or even a simple panel behind the range cut the grout drama way down. If you do want classic tile, choose a grout color that's not paper white, something softer and slightly warmer so it hides normal living. Peel it properly, and you won't feel like your backsplash is grating you every time you cook. And now we're heading into the trend that looks like luxury minimalism, until you try to open a cabinet with wet hands. Coming in at number 4, handleless cabinets and the push-to-open obsession. This trend sells a certain fantasy. A kitchen that looks seamless, no visual clutter, just clean lines, like a modern showroom where nothing is ever out of place. This trend took off because it feels elevated, and it photographs like a dream. It also makes the whole room look calmer, especially if you're going for that minimalist style. But daily life is not minimalist. Daily life is wet hands, greasy fingers, and carrying 2 things at once. And that's where this trend starts working against you. Push-to-open hardware can be fussy. Some doors open too easily, some don't open when you need them to, and after enough use, the mechanism can wear out and turn into a constant little battle. Then there's the fingerprints. If you're always pushing the front of the cabinet, you're leaving marks all over the exact surface you wanted to look pristine. The common example is the hands-full moment. You're holding a pot lid, you try to nudge a drawer open with your hip, it doesn't catch, you try again, it pops open too far, and now you're annoyed for no reason. Or you're cooking, you've got oil on your fingers, and you're basically stamping fingerprints across every cabinet front all day. Instead, you can keep the modern vibe without the daily friction. Thin pulls, edge pulls, or integrated handles give you that clean look, but they're actually easy to grab. If you still love the no hardware look, limit it to a few places where it makes sense, like a tall pantry wall or a bar cabinet that doesn't get touched constantly. Save your high-touch zones for hardware that works every time, without drama. And here's the thing. If number 4 is annoying, number 3 is where it gets expensive, because it's the kind of luxury add-on that can turn into repairs if it goes wrong. Pot fillers and other chef kitchen plumbing extras. It sells the idea of a premium upgrade. That faucet over the stove looks like something you'd see in a celebrity home tour. It signals seriousness, like you're the type of person who makes pasta from scratch, seasons like a pro, and hosts dinner parties that end with everyone asking for the recipe. Real question though, would you actually use a pot filler every week? Or is it just a nice-looking flex? And on paper, it sounds practical. No more carrying heavy pots of water from the sink to the stove. That's the pitch. Convenience, luxury, and a little bit of bragging rights. But the part people don't expect is what you're adding behind the wall. It's another water line, another valve, another set of seals, another thing that can leak. And it sits in one of the worst places to deal with a leak, because it's usually installed into tile or a finished backsplash, sometimes above heat. If something fails, you don't just tighten a handle and move on. It can turn into a wall opening, repair work, and a bill that makes you wish you bought a nicer range instead. There's also the half-solved problem reality. Yes, you can fill a pot at the stove, but you still have to carry that heavy pot back to the sink to drain it. So, the biggest weight lift still exists. And because many people don't actually use the pot filler daily, it becomes a permanent risk for a convenience you rarely touch. A more strategic move is to put the money where you feel it every single day. Upgrade the main sink faucet to something reliable with a great pull down and spray. Make sure the sink is sized well, and that your prep area is close to it. If you want the kitchen to feel truly expensive, invest in ventilation, lighting, and storage that makes cooking smoother. Those upgrades don't just look good, they improve your life. And from here, the next two are the big ones. Number 2 is gorgeous, but it punishes perfectionists. Our runner-up spot goes to marble countertops, the trend that looks like pure luxury until you actually live on it. People pick marble because it's emotionally convincing. It's bright, soft, expensive looking, and it has that natural veining that makes every slab feel one of one. It's the countertop that makes a kitchen look designer, even if everything else is simple. And because you see it in magazines and high-end home tours, it feels like the ultimate upgrade. Here's the downside. Marble is not a set-it-and-forget-it surface. It etches. That means acidic things like lemon, vinegar, tomatoes, and wine can dull the finish in a way that looks like a stain, even when it's technically not dirt. It can also absorb spills if they sit too long. And in a real kitchen, spills will sit. People get distracted. Guests set down drinks. Someone slices a lime and walks away. That's normal life. The regret usually hits in small moments. You set down a glass, come back, and there's a faint ring that won't wipe off. You wipe the counter and notice a dull patch near the sink where splashes happen every day. Or you realize you're constantly babysitting the surface, not enjoying the kitchen. If you love a lived-in patina look, you might be fine. But if you want your kitchen to look perfect at all times, marble will stress you out. A smarter approach is to choose materials that give you the look without the anxiety. Quartz and porcelain can mimic marble's style while being far more forgiving. If you're truly in love with real marble, use it in a controlled zone, like a baking station or a coffee bar, where you can treat it gently. Save the main prep surfaces for something that can handle real cooking without making you feel like you're walking on eggshells. All right, last one. This is the trend that makes a kitchen feel amazing in photos, but cramped and chaotic in motion. Our top spot is the oversized island that wrecks your kitchen flow. People chase the biggest island they can fit because it feels like the ultimate kitchen flex. More seating, more storage, more gather around here energy, and in listings, a huge island looks like value. It makes the kitchen feel upgraded before you even notice the cabinets. But this is the trend that can make a perfectly good kitchen feel stressful every single day. If an island is sized for looks instead of movement, it blocks the way you actually live. Walkways get tight, dishwasher doors clash with traffic paths. Two people can't pass without doing that awkward sidestep. And when the space feels cramped, everything feels messier. Even a clean kitchen starts looking chaotic because people and objects don't have room to breathe. You'll notice it when you're unloading groceries. Someone opens the fridge, someone else tries to rinse something, and suddenly the kitchen turns into a bottleneck. Or you're cooking and you keep taking extra steps because the island breaks the natural rhythm between fridge, sink, and stove. The island becomes a mountain you walk around all day, not a helpful center. The move here is to design for clearance and function first, then size the island. Make sure doors and drawers can open without collisions. Make sure people can walk behind someone sitting at the island without squeezing through. And be honest about seating. If you only ever need 2 stools, don't build a 6-stool runway that steals your workspace. If your kitchen is smaller, a slightly smaller island plus a strong pantry wall often feels more expensive than a massive island that makes everything feel tight. Even a peninsula can outperform a giant island because it keeps the room open while still giving you prep space and seating. That's the real secret. A kitchen feels high-end when it's easy to move in, easy to cook in, and easy to keep clean. Trends come and go, but flow never stops mattering. If your kitchen has one of these trends, you're not doomed. Most fixes are easier than people think, and even one smart change can make the whole space feel better. Which upgrade are you starting with first? And what kitchen mistakes should I add for part 2? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.